WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for staying up with us tonight. Your weekend Walmart run is going to look very different starting tomorrow. Starting Saturday, Walmart will limit the number of customers who can be in a store at once. Stores will allow no more than 5 customers for each 1,000 square feet at a given time. That's roughly 20% of a store's capacity. Associates will mark a queue at a single entry door, most likely in the grocery side. Customers will be admitted one by one and counted. Now, once inside, you can expect one-way movement through the aisles. Floor markers will be used, and associates will direct customers to avoid close contact with others. Once a store reaches its capacity, customers will be admitted on a one-out, one-in basis. Walmart is asking its customers to bring the fewest number of people per family to shop. Now, after checking out, customers will exit through a separate door. Some stores will test selling what they deem as essential items, such as groceries, toiletries, and access to pharmacy. President Trump says he won't follow a new voluntary CDC recommendation meant to help stop the spread of the coronavirus. Meanwhile, a major component of the Phase 3 stimulus bill went online today. CBS's Skylar Henry has the very latest from the White House.
The CDC now recommends all Americans wear fabric face coverings or masks in public.
Please leave the N95 mask, the medical supplies for the medical professionals, healthcare workers, and frontline workers. Know that this is not a substitute for social distancing.
I won't be doing it personally. It's a recommendation.
The president has invoked the Defense Production Act against 3M and others to stop the export of personal protection equipment from the U.S. 3M pushed back in a statement, saying the order could have significant humanitarian implications and that other countries could be compelled to retaliate.
They can push back if they want. We're not happy with 3M.
The administration also announced that hospitals will be reimbursed at Medicare rates for providing care for uninsured Americans infected with the coronavirus.
Getting the uninsured access to the care they need is a top priority for President Trump.
The $350 billion Paycheck Protection Program rolled out Friday to help small business owners and their employees weather the fallout from the pandemic.
More than $3.5 billion in guaranteed loans have been processed.
The White House issued a new policy that a rapid COVID-19 test will be given to anyone who comes into close proximity to the president or vice president. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
President Trump also said he'll continue to leave stay-at-home orders up to individual state governors. Alabama is now among those states issuing stay-at-home orders. Governor Ivey made that announcement today. It takes effect tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m., and it'll run through April 30th. Under the new rule, people in Alabama can still go out for essential needs, such as going to the grocery store, the doctor, or to work if you're still working. Now, gatherings of more than 10 people, that's still prohibited under the order. You can read Governor Ivey's stay-at-home order in full at WCBI.com. Mississippi's stay-at-home order went into effect at 5 o'clock this afternoon, and it'll be in place until April 20th at 8 a.m. And people have a lot of questions, so we're going to try to break it down for you to help. The Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, it's published a list of do's and don'ts. We're going to share them with you here tonight. Here are things that you can do under that shelter-in-place order. Go to the grocery store, doctor's appointments, or pharmacy. It's also okay to care for a sick family member or friend and go to restaurants for takeout. You can go outside, just make sure that you keep 6 feet between you and other people. Now, here are some things that you should not do. Visiting family or friends for any social reason, gathering in groups of 10 or more, and you should also not visit any loved ones in the hospital or nursing home or other residential facilities. Some places there have put in different guidelines, logging them down completely. You should also follow these guidelines all day, every day, until this order is lifted, which right now, again, is scheduled for April the 20th. Well, state leaders say that shelter in place is designed to slow the spread of the virus. It's also designed to give the healthcare system time to find the extra capacity to deal with the increased demand. Governor Tate Reeves was joined by several doctors today during his briefing. They explained that they met with several other physicians today to develop a COVID system of care.
All of the physicians that we have in our state, and with the number of elective cases that have been postponed, we actually have a glut of physicians. And we are reaching out to those physicians and asking them to be ready and to be prepared and they have given us word that we're here. We're not seeing elective cases. Whatever we can do to stand up and step up and be ready, we're here and we're prepared for that.
Governor Reeves says that the best way to avoid a major catastrophe is for people to adhere to the executive order and truly get the spread of the virus slowed down.
Just a couple of showers out there earlier today, but generally a really nice day, and we saw a really nice sunset across much of the area. Here's the time lapse from Tupelo. You see the blue sky, just a few clouds out there, but those high clouds actually made for a really nice sunset. Oranges and blues in the sky as the sun began to sink below the horizon. And aside from those couple of isolated showers we had, it was really a nice day. We're going to stay mostly dry overnight tonight. Temperatures falling down into the low end mid-50s in many spots. Some spots get closer to 56 or 57. But tomorrow, all of us are going to warm up into the mid and upper 70s. A really nice day with a mix of sun and clouds. And we'll be dry basically for the entire weekend aside from a sprinkle or two. But there's more rain on the way. I'll tell you when you can expect it coming up in just a little bit. Scott.
All right, Trevor, thanks so much. Well, new numbers this week show that roughly 6.6 million people in the U.S. have filed for unemployment during the coronavirus outbreak. Many of those people right here in our area. Many of them are having a hard time filing for unemployment benefits. Our Quentin Smith met a man who's currently facing this problem and getting nowhere fast. Now he's frustrated and doesn't know what else to do.
Charlie McCarter spends each morning calling different numbers trying to get unemployment benefits. But more times than not, he ends up waiting and waiting and waiting, either getting nowhere or receiving messages like this.
Your call did not go through. Please try your call again.
It's been kind of frustrating. The fact that they don't have anybody answering the phones. The phones are always busy. The numbers they give you are disconnected, or there's nobody answering.
This call log shows the more than 50 times McCarter spent trying to speak with a representative. McCarter went to the Wynn Job Center in Mayhew, where flyers like these saying they're experiencing a high volume of calls are posted all around the building. The flyers do give additional numbers to contact. Numbers McCarter says still lead to nowhere.
The number that does work, they have employees that answer the phone, but they're pretty much telling you what you already know, the contact numbers that you can call to try to see if you can get in contact with somebody, and that's pretty much it.
The Starkville native says he first filed for unemployment nearly 20 years ago and needs access retrieving his account. However, whenever he calls, workers tell him they're teleworking from home and don't have their computer to access his information.
They say I would have to talk to somebody, but there's nobody answering the phone to get to the next step.
And just like that, McCarter says he's back at square one.
I really think they should have really thought this situation out first. I don't know how the president said we're going to do a shutdown and go file unemployment, but you send everybody home at unemployment. It doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? And you know that's what everybody's going to, and that's what everybody's depending on.
After being laid off, he, just like many others, are depending on unemployment to help them stay afloat. In the meantime, McCarter says he's going to remain hopeful that the right person will soon be on the other end of his call, leading him in the right direction.
I really think it should be something they should be getting on right away and looking into, seeing what's going on, trying to get more people into the call center to help out. I'm assuming that's the issue.
And we've reached out to the governor's office to see what the issue is, if any, or if anything can be done. We're still waiting to hear back from them. The Tupelo Salvation Army is changing its operations in response to the state's shelter-in-place order. The Tupelo location will begin operating 24 hours a day. The new policy will only allow residents to leave the shelter for essential needs. Anyone staying at the shelter showing symptoms, that is, of coronavirus, they'll be moved to the former Tupelo core shelter building and referred to the hospital for screening. The charity will continue to serve lunch and dinner prepared to go style, and the grocery assistance will also continue, but it will be drive-through pickup only. All 3 thrift stores are closed until further notice. Funeral homes in Lee County come together to form a plan that complies with the shelter-in-place order and allows them to serve their clients' needs. Public visitations, they have been canceled, and services can have no more than 10 people in the audience. Also, there will be no public graveside services. Most will offer live stream services for family and friends who cannot attend in person. Funeral directors say that they're considering other ways for family and friends to take part.
Well, we actually started 3 weeks ago a Hugs from Home program. It is so those that cannot attend or should not attend services and now cannot because of their service limitation sizes, people can call us or do it online at our website, and we will put a balloon in place of a person at a service to show that they wanted to be there, but unfortunately, due to the circumstances, cannot.
They plan to lift these restrictions, of course, when the outbreak passes. A Lowndes County deputy resigns just days after being involved in an alleged simple assault. Columbus police, they're investigating the assault that happened between an off-duty Lowndes County deputy and a restaurant employee. Chief Deputy Brent Swan confirmed that a deputy was involved, but didn't disclose that deputy's name. However, several sources told WCBI that Max Branch was the person involved, the deputy that was. Swan confirms to us that Branch did resign from the sheriff's office. No other information regarding his employment is being released. All right, we're going to send things back over to meteorologist Trevor Burchett. Trevor, a picture perfect weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be great, aside from a sprinkle or two, but generally it's going to be just enough to get outside, get some fresh air. Remember, that's still fine. You can still go outside.
And exactly
just social
what we
distance.
need. Exactly
Absolutely.
What we need.
This spring weather is just what we need. Tomorrow going to be great. There's Chase. He's chewing on a tennis shoe in the backyard. I think he's going to enjoy the weather for tomorrow in the backyard, hopefully without the tennis shoe. 70s for tomorrow with a mix of sun and clouds, but there is rain in the forecast. I'll tell you when you want to stay indoors for a while due to the rain coming up in just a little bit.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Burchett.
Generally dry overnight tonight, aside from a sprinkle or two, but we do have a weather system that's going to be moving through the area this weekend. Here's that low pressure system just off to our west, and that's going to swing a cold front through the area over the next couple of days. Fortunately, though, it's very weak. I'm not really expecting too much in the way of shower activity, maybe a sprinkle or two overnight Saturday into early Sunday, but most of the weekend is going to be dry. The problems are going to come in when the warm front is going to lift back to the north and bring us more chances for showers and storms as we go over the work week. Monday through Friday is when we're really going to be expecting those rain chances to make a return. As I mentioned, not much in the way of rainfall today aside from a sprinkle or two, and that led into a really nice sunset there in Clay County. Picture perfect there in West Point, and really a nice sunset all across the area. Remember, if you see any interesting weather happening, including a nice sunset, we'd love to see it. You can send that photo to us on our free mobile app for Apple and Android, also on our social media pages and on our email address, weather@wcbi.com. So right now, temperatures generally anywhere from right around 60 degrees into the mid-50s. We're 55 in Starkville, still 65 in Tupelo, mid-50s over there along I-55, 57 right now in Eupora and in Bruce. Notice how most of us are dry, just a couple of isolated sprinkles out there, but the cloud cover is really going to increase as we go over the next couple of hours. We might still see a few peaks of starry sky, but we're going to call it mostly cloudy overnight tonight with a low right there in the mid-50s, not quite as chilly as we were last night. Tomorrow, we're actually going to be a little bit warmer, a few more peaks of sunshine. Still some clouds linger around, but it's going to be a really nice day. Temperatures getting up into the mid to upper 70s, 77 here in Columbus, 76 in Starkville, 77 as well over in West Point. Here's a look at that on Futurecast hour by hour. Notice we wake up to some sunshine, maybe some clouds getting in here by the afternoon. I think any showers that we might see this weekend are going to hold off until very late Saturday. You see some of those developing over there in the Delta as we get into the overnight hours. So we're going to keep about a 20% chance for some showers in the forecast for the weekend. But generally, I think the weekend is going to be mostly dry. You're going to notice the rain chances make a comeback, though, as we get into the middle portion of next week, Monday through Friday. Basically, anytime you could see a chance for an isolated shower or storm. Not a complete washout, though. It's not going to be a steady rainfall, but certainly enough that most areas will pick up anywhere from an inch to about a half an inch of rainfall in spots. So again, if you're planning on getting outside, getting some fresh air, take the kids in the backyard, the weekend is the time to do it. Just a few peaks of sunshine with highs right around 80 degrees. Shower and storm chances return for the week off and on, with temperatures getting back into the mid-80s by next Wednesday.
An area musician is showing us that social distancing doesn't have to mean social isolation. We have a story when we come back.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. We're seeing many creative ideas when it comes to keeping entertained while we stay at home during this outbreak, but one man is taking it to new heights with his voice. Take a listen.
I love to praise
a gift, raw talent, whatever you want to call it. Tyson Cunningham has it, and we can't get enough.
But I know things are tough for a lot of people. I know a lot of people are anxious, and just there's so many things going on. People losing jobs, loved ones getting sick, and just, man, it's just a lot of chaos.
Using an app called Acapella, Cunningham is bringing people online sounds from the heart that has every ear tuning in.
You know, it's never about me. I never want people to, man, he's so awesome. You know, that's cool. But in the grand scheme of things, I just want people to see life as worship, you know, and just have the opportunity to plug in different opportunities where we can worship God together through song. You know, that's just one of the ways we can worship the Lord.
Cunningham is a worship leader at Crosspoint Church. He's using the gift of his voice that he hopes reaches deeper than just noise.
Man, it's such an amazing thing. We can use our gifts, use our talents, use our abilities to shed light, shed positivity, shed hope, and just try to make the most of what God has put in each one of us.
From the melody to the harmony, Cunningham hopes every note helps soothe our souls.
I hope that people would get just a glimpse of just a positive reminder that, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
In his hand, God's got it in his hand, in his hand, in his hand. God's got us in his hand. No need to worry. In his hand.
Definitely a story we all needed tonight. Cunningham says that even after the pandemic is over, he plans to continue sharing his gift for all of us to hear. Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
Here's sports with Tom Ebel.
Now that you're the head coach of your alma mater, what's the feeling like around that? What does that mean to you?
You know, it's a good feeling. You know, I'm just blessed to have this opportunity, you know, to come home and take over a program that means a lot to me. You know, it's a lot of tradition, a lot of pride, you know, comes along with Calhoun City football.
You're an assistant coach with Calhoun City for the past 2 years, coaching under Perry Lyles and Chad White. What are some of the things that you learned from them that you hope to emulate as a head coach and continue the tradition of Calhoun City?
You know, I learned a lot from both of those guys. One thing is hard work. You know, nothing beats hard work. You got to be willing to roll up your sleeves and, you know, show up every day and just go to work. And, you know, that right there, you know, it takes care of itself. Our mindset is reload. You know, the expectations, you know, never change around here. We always take pride in playing, you know, after Thanksgiving. So, you know, we just got to be ready when we get that opportunity to step on the field, you know, and be ready to go to work.
You spent the past 2 years at Calhoun City, but this wasn't your first stop as an assistant coach. You've been able to be a part of some pretty successful staffs. I was wondering if you could talk about maybe your experience and, you know, some of the other places you've been to get to this point.
Yes, my first 2 years was at South Panola. I worked a year under Coach Lance Pogue, and that second year I was under Coach Ricky Woods. I was able to learn a lot from, you know, both of those guys, both, you know, very successful coaches. So, you know, it was a great experience having the pleasure to work under those guys.
Just as someone who's been around football your entire life, is it almost like a chomping at the bit feeling to get back out there and get on a field and practice and get hands-on with the guys? You know, what's maybe been the toughest part for you through this? I guess you'd call it a lockout right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, my mindset is no such thing as an off season. So having to sit there and wait, you know, can't work out, you know, you can't meet with the guys and stuff. It's a bit frustrating. The good thing about it, everyone in the state is dealing with it. So, you know, it's not like anyone is getting an advantage on someone else. So, you know, that's the only good thing about it. And, you know, at times you can take advantage of opportunities like this because you can, you know, do things around the house and, you know, take advantage of the opportunity to spend more time with your family.
Pretty nice weekend over the next couple of days. Maybe an isolated sprinkle late Saturday into early Sunday, but still generally pretty nice weather. You want to get outside and enjoy that fresh air while you can, because we're going to have a chance for some off and on showers through next week. Temperatures warming up to right around 80 degrees. A little warmer, though, on Wednesday. So, Scott, like I said, it's still okay to get outside and get some fresh air, and the weekend's going to be a good time to do it.
Yeah, just got to stay 6 feet apart,
Absolutely.
no more than 10 people. So everyone have a safe weekend. Have a good weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.